Tensions exploded in court when Pooh Shiesty directly confronted Gucci Mane over serious snitching allegations. What was once a strong alliance under 1017 has now turned into a public conflict full of accusations, betrayal, and high-stakes drama. The situation is getting even worse as Shiesty starts naming others and pulling more people into the controversy, changing everything. On April 2nd, 2026, the United States Department of Justice made a major announcement in Dallas, Texas, that shocked the hip-hop world. 9 people, including one of the most talked-about comeback artists, were charged with federal kidnapping and armed robbery. This was not just rumors or online gossip. It was an official case backed by serious evidence like ankle monitor data, surveillance footage, fingerprints, rental car records, bus tickets, and even social media posts showing stolen jewelry. The main name in the case is Lantrell Williams Jr., known as Pooh Shiesty, and the alleged victim is none other than Gucci Mane, his own label boss and mentor. Authorities claim Gucci Mane was held at gunpoint and forced to sign a contract release. The case also involves Shiesty's father and Memphis rapper Big 30, making it even more serious. Now, the situation has turned into a major legal battle that could change everything for those involved.
This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas.
9 people were involved in a shocking incident where someone was kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint inside a music studio. The U.S. attorney clearly explained what the government believes happened, and when you hear all the details together, it almost feels unbelievable how bold and serious these accusations are.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint.
He allegedly pointed an AK-style gun at his own label boss to force him out of a record deal, which is shocking on its own. But the situation didn't stop there. The U.S. attorney continued sharing more details, revealing that the case was even more serious than it first sounded.
The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and multiple firearms were allegedly taken, and there were several victims involved. This was not just a sudden argument that got out of control. Federal prosecutors say it was a planned and coordinated armed takeover of a recording studio. Then came one shocking detail that made the entire hip-hop internet react strongly and go viral.
Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions.
At the time of the incident, Pooh Shiesty was already wearing an ankle monitor and was on home confinement from a previous federal case, and government tracking data reportedly placed him exactly at the scene of the crime. When DJ Academics read the complaint live, he reacted the same way many people online did, shocked that someone would allegedly commit such a serious crime while being tracked in real time. Now, the legal consequences are extremely serious. All 9 defendants are facing major federal charges, including kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and armed robbery under federal law. These are not minor or state-level charges. Federal cases usually come with tougher sentences, stricter prison conditions, and very strong prosecution. When a reporter asked how much prison time they could face, the U.S. attorney's response made it clear just how serious and life-changing these charges could be.
There's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment.
The possible punishment in this case ranges from 0 years to life in prison. It becomes even more serious for Pooh Shiesty because he was not fully free at the time. He was on home confinement, finishing a 63-month federal sentence for a previous firearms conspiracy case. Committing another federal crime while under supervision makes the situation worse and can lead to a harsher sentence. Authorities arrested 8 of the 9 suspects on April 1st, 2026, in cities like Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville, while one suspect was still on the run. The FBI, along with multiple field offices, carried out a large coordinated operation across several states to make these arrests. This wasn't a small case. It was a major investigation that had been quietly building since January. The alleged crime happened on January 10th, 2026, but arrests were made almost 3 months later, showing how much time went into gathering evidence before charges were announced.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation.
Federal agents spent months building a strong case using subpoenas, search warrants, phone records, rental car data, ankle monitor logs, fingerprints, bus ticket records, social media evidence, and surveillance footage from multiple locations. They carefully gathered everything before taking action. By the time of the press conference, they had detailed proof showing movements, travel, and even stolen items being shown online. When the news broke, people were shocked to learn that Gucci Mane was not arrested, but listed as a victim in the case, identified by his real name. This quickly changed the conversation online, as many focused on the detail that victims, including Gucci Mane, helped identify the suspects through descriptions and photos, something that sparked controversy in hip-hop culture. However, what many people ignored was that an undercover law enforcement officer was also present at the studio that day, working as part of security, which adds more context to how authorities were able to build their case so strongly. Authorities already had strong evidence before anyone spoke. They had surveillance footage, ankle monitor data, rental car records, license plate tracking, phone location data, and even fingerprint from a scene. So, Gucci Mane identifying suspects through social media was not what built the case. It was already solid. Even DJ academics pointed out that an undercover officer was present, meaning investigators already had a clear inside view of what happened, along with key witnesses like a cameraman and others in the room. Despite all this, Gucci Mane later spoke publicly about the situation. To understand how things got this bad, you have to go back to how the relationship started. Years earlier, Gucci Mane gave Pooh Shiesty a major opportunity by signing him to 1017 record around 2020 after he gained attention with songs like Back in Blood. What began as a strong mentor and protege relationship eventually turned into a situation no one expected. At the start of their relationship, this was more than just a business deal. Gucci Mane even gifted Pooh Shiesty a Trackhawk truck, and their partnership was seen as a passing of the torch in trap music. They worked together on songs, performed together, and appeared on projects like So Icy Summer. While Shiesty's 2021 mixtape Shiesty's Season even reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 with Gucci support. On the surface, everything looked like a successful mentor-protege story. However, before the January 2026 incident, Shiesty had already been involved in serious legal trouble. In October 2020, he was linked to a violent shooting in Florida during an alleged deal involving drugs and sneakers, and later federal prosecutors connected him to multiple incidents, including shootings and armed assaults in different locations. In January 2022, he pleaded guilty to a federal conspiracy charge involving firearms and criminal activity, showing that legal issues had already followed him long before the later case. In his earlier federal case, 3 other charges were dropped, including one that could have led to a life sentence, and he was ultimately sentenced to 63 months in federal prison. Even during that time, Gucci Mane kept supporting Pooh Shiesty by keeping him signed to 1017 and continuing to release his music while he was incarcerated, including projects like Shiesty's Season in 2022. On the surface, this looked like strong loyalty between a label boss and his artist. However, things reportedly began to change emotionally within their relationship after a personal tragedy. Shiesty's cousin, Big Scar, who was also signed to 1017, died in 2023, and his death deeply affected Shiesty and his circle. Reports and rumors later suggested that there was tension around how the situation was handled, including concerns from family members about support and respect after his passing. While not all details are fully confirmed, many believe this period created a serious emotional divide, making people feel that the loyalty between mentor and protege had its limits. While he was still in federal prison, Pooh Shiesty was dealing with personal loss and thinking about his future, while also seeing changes in how his family and label situation were being handled. In October 2024, Gucci Mane reportedly dropped most of his 1,017 artists for financial reasons, but kept Shiesty and a few others, showing he was still investing in him as a major artist. Shiesty was later released from federal prison in October 2025 and placed on home detention with an ankle monitor, and his contract was up for renegotiation at that time. Reports say the new deal offered by Gucci was not what Shiesty expected, especially since he had major success and strong industry attention from other labels, creating tension around his future. According to federal claims, he was unhappy with the contract situation and wanted out of his obligations, and prosecutors say this dispute over money and contracts became the main motive behind everything that followed in January 2026. At the same time, Shiesty had previously spoken publicly about how much he respected Gucci, calling him his inspiration and blueprint, making the situation even more tragic given how their relationship later broke down. He said those words stayed with him, but not for long. On January 10th, 2026, in Dallas, Texas, everything reportedly unfolded inside a recording studio located in an office building on Dallas Parkway. According to a federal criminal complaint filed by FBI Special Agent Brittany Garcia in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas, this is the government's official version of events. In the complaint, Gucci Mane is referred to by his legal initials, and it states he arrived in Dallas around 1 p.m. with a cameraman, an associate, and security, including an undercover officer working as part of his protection team. They went for a business meeting and contract discussion, but the studio was not ready yet, so they briefly stopped at a liquor store, bought drinks, and returned to wait. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty's father allegedly arranged a studio booking for that day, setting up a session that was supposed to bring them together. The studio opened around 3:15 p.m., and Gucci's group settled in while waiting. Later, at around 3:43 p.m., Shiesty and several others entered the building, and surveillance footage showed one person briefly leaving and returning with a bag, which later became a key part of the investigation. Before the bag was even opened, something even more important happened. Pooh Shiesty allegedly asked to speak privately with Gucci Mane in the recording booth, and Gucci agreed. But when they went inside, Shiesty's father and Big 30 also came in, making it 3 against 1, while other members stayed outside in the control room. Shiesty then allegedly pulled out contract termination papers and told Gucci to sign them, which prosecutors say had been printed earlier that same day. When Gucci refused, tensions rose quickly. Shiesty then reportedly called for a bag, and after it was brought in, he allegedly pulled out an AK-style pistol and pointed it at Gucci, forcing him to sign the documents. A video was even recorded of Gucci verbally confirming the contract release, and he was made to add a date to his signature. After this, Gucci's valuables like his ring, watch, earrings, and cash were allegedly taken. At the same time, the situation outside the booth also turned violent, with others in the group allegedly threatening Gucci's associates, demanding property, and in one case, choking a victim until he was nearly unconscious. Per the incident, Rolex watches, a Louis Vuitton bag filled with expensive items, AirPods, wallets, and even a chain with the 1017 logo were allegedly stolen at gunpoint. Big 30 reportedly stood at the studio door to block anyone from leaving, while an undercover security officer tried to enter but backed off after seeing armed suspects and being outnumbered. One member of the group even wanted to open fire, but Pooh Shiesty allegedly told him not to. When it was all over, the suspects left separately, and within hours, some of them were posting online with photos and videos showing off the stolen items. Investigators also used an AirTag in the stolen bag to track its location, along with fingerprints from red cups, rental car records, phone data, and surveillance footage, all linking the group together. Records also showed travel from Memphis to Dallas before the incident and a return trip afterward, including bus and vehicle movements. Even Shiesty's ankle monitor reportedly placed him at the exact scene during the crime. When the arrest became public, the internet split. Some focused on Shiesty, while others questioned Gucci Mane and whether he cooperated with authorities, which he strongly denied on social media, saying he does not work with police and addressing the rumors directly. However, legally, the evidence already built by investigators was far stronger than anything discussed online. The contract signed during the incident would likely not hold up in court because agreements made under threats or violence are not valid. In the end, even after leaving federal prison and rebuilding his career with high-paying shows and major attention, Shiesty's situation turned into an even bigger legal problem than before. He had strong support in the streets and everything going for him after getting out of prison, but according to the narrative, he lost it all over a contract dispute and a document allegedly signed under gunpoint, something that would not be valid in court anyway. The case is still ongoing, and no trial date has been set yet, and all defendants are still presumed innocent until proven guilty. However, the evidence already made public by federal authorities is very detailed and serious. Because he was already on federal supervised release, the consequences could be even more severe depending on how the case develops. In the end, what started as a major comeback turned into a serious legal situation that could change everything for him.